do another couple of series. It allows us to maybe stretch out the stream towards 4 or 5 hours of casting rather than just 3 hours, which should be pretty much awesome. That should be a good way to kind of wrap up for the day, because I've got some work to do after this off stream. So yeah, I don't want to stream all night long, but I do want to get some. I do want to make the stream more than 3 hours long. I really don't like it when we only stream for 3 hours. It feels like we're just like, who supports a streamer that only puts in 3 hours of work a day? You know, 3 hours is nothing. It's barely anything. Anyways, let's introduce the players then. So this is a matchup from the round of 16 of the Go4 monthly finals. To the top right-hand side from Cascade, this Cascade Showdown, it is DnS. And he is going up against the blue Terran player to the bottom left-hand side of the map. This is Cass. So game number 1 of this TVP with Cass already throwing down the proxied barracks up to the northern side of the map. So Proxy and Arax here to get things started, as we do see this probe just going to hop on in towards the main base and have a little bit of a look around just to see what is going on here in the early stages. So going into this and seeing what will go down. Probe obviously just wants to keep up in terms of info, and he does see the lack of Arax, and this is the sort of reason you do scout with your probe, because now he doesn't throw down the Nexus. Instead he starts up the Cyber Core, starts a Zealot, and he gets ready to defend against this initial attack out of Cass, which is the proxied barracks, which is a Reaper on the way up, which is in general here just aggression coming through, trying to get something done in these early stages. Reaper's about halfway done then, right from the get-go, as it's going to be diving in towards the main base, and we are going to be seeing this SCV of Cass is just sat here nearby as well. Zealot coming forwards, and we'll start to chase that SCV down. Simon X core coming up as well, and just going to be seeing again these assimilators just being filled up because there's no reason to take a Nexus yet. Got to defend this Reaper first, and Adept being Corona boosted now as well will be a big part of defending against this now, as we are going to be seeing. The first probe pulls away quite nicely though. Second probe as well. Now the Reaper goes to the other side, and those probes have to keep on moving. This is the more difficult part, keeping the probes alive after you've initially pulled them away if the Reaper changes position. And the Reaper backs away quite quickly to avoid the Adept, so that's kind of cute as well. It means that it's not going to get taken down or anything here as he falls back around this side. At home, he throws down a factory in the main base, so the factory is going to be finishing up. It's going to allow him to go in towards his next stage of this game, which is immediately going to be a Cyclone. Very good defensively in case of a Stargate follow-up, like we're seeing. Means that he has anti-air back at home. It also means he straight up has just a stronger ground force to push with, and he is going to proxy the Starport as well. So Starport coming into play, as we are going to be seeing the Nexus is just coming up to being about halfway done. But the Reapers in the main base are looking for some more probe kills, and already looking as though they're getting maybe a couple of those workers continue to chase those Reapers down. That's only a couple of workers, honestly. It's not that bad in the end. One Reaper's still alive. It's a lot of lost mining time as well, though. And if we look at the income graph, you can see Cass has definitely been taking some leaps and bounds in terms of advantages in that regard. So that definitely does start to go a long way. Third SCV going down too. And it just keeps also DNS from kind of scouting across the map again. And now the proxy starport comes up on the right-hand side. Well, a tech lab coming on it. That generally means we're going to be seeing Cloak and Banshees to try and catch DNS off in the next few stages. So first Banshee and Cloak coming up. Behind this, Cass will begin to expand. And obviously DNS has gotten his own expansion up. So let's see if the Cloak Banshees will catch him off guard. I mean, having an Oracle means he can definitely revelate the Banshees. He can definitely get some detection out. But only having one Oracle is obviously an issue, because if there's two Banshees, you only have one Revelation maybe. That said, now there's a second Oracle on the way, so it's a little bit less of an issue, but if they don't have energy, if they are across the map, there are still ways that these Banshees can get a lot of damage done, so we're waiting for that to come into play. As we do see the Oracle scan will come into the main. This is maybe the biggest issue of all at the moment. The fact that the Cyclones are across the map means the Oracle's going to get some damage done. Oh, the Widowmine saves it! I mean, the Oracle also saw the lack of a starport, though, which might be some really good information. Two Cyclones at the front then. Let's see how DNS defends. He's going to come in with the Oracle. Lock straight onto it, Cass. As the Oracle backs away, gets out of actual Cyclone range, so he can come back in and keep fighting. That's absolutely crucial, because it's going to be what kills off those Cyclones in the end. Wow, very, very nicely done here. Very nicely done. So the Reaper drops back in, tries to get more damage done. First Banshee waiting to connect. Another Oracle on the way, so Revelations will be here. There will be detection available. As this Oracle, will it go across the map? It will begin to, at the very least. First Banshee shows up in the natural and will start to do some damage. Take some hits from the Stalker. We'll now cloak up to minimize damage taken. So a few more probes going to go down here. And this is already 6, moving up towards 7. And the second Banshee will be coming in very soon. The one Oracle that had energy has dropped the Revelation, so now the second Banshee, the sooner it gets there, the sooner it can take advantage of the fact that the Oracles now don't have energy for about another 15-ish seconds or so. This Banshee does not want to stop moving, wants to keep going forwards, getting towards the natural expansion. Cloak up, and start pushing its way through a couple more of these workers. So again, just one more probe for now. And again, it's all about this one Oracle here that has only 7 energy to go until the Revelation is available. We will now be able to drop that in a moment or two, but still a few more probes going down, so Cass is really finding himself some very good damage early on. I mean, this has been an amazing start from him. He gets one final probe. Nice idea to lift up the damage probe with the Phoenix, but unfortunately it was the wrong worker that cast compared to one cast targeted. This didn't quite work out. As you do see, Stimpack is going to be coming through here from Cass in the main base. So Stimpack coming through. +1 attack on the engineering bay as well. Missile turret dropping down in the main base. And we are just going to be seeing the starport slowly on its journey back home after being really the cause of quite a lot of damage in these early stages. Nicely done, I would say. Cass wasn't, the sort of Banshees that show up and end the game right away. They don't come in and it's like, okay, well, I guess I've just got no response at all. I lose 20, 30 workers. I tap out a couple of minutes later when my army doesn't win the counterattack. These are the sort of Banshees that they did good damage. They justified the proxy starport. They give Cass a lot of time to set up at home. They give him an advantage, but they don't knock DnS completely out of the game. And so we continue on to what can still be just a nice little macro game here over the next few minutes. As you see Twilight Council and Forge coming down, another gateway as well. And we are just going to be seeing more Phoenix gathering up with these Oracles. Just going to continue to push down in towards the lower left-hand side and pick it away at a few of those SCVs maybe. Just going to be seeing another couple of medevacs on the way up, and obviously this is just very standard stuff for the Terran player. A missile turret in position to try and turn those Phoenix away. The Widow Mine's still kind of hidden away here and there as well to try and catch those flying units off guard just slightly. Revelation comes down, grabs a few Marines and Marauders. Just giving them a little bit of information. Resonating Glaives now being chrono boosted out alongside the +1 attack upgrade. A few Marines moving forwards, able to push the few units away there. And we have just got, well, a tech lab in the bottom right hand side. And we do see the missile turret on the way up in the production to continue setting up as well. All Marines are going to get picked off there pretty quickly, as you're going to be seeing Cass continue to send up down to the bottom right, and we do see a third Nexus now finishing from DnS. The gold bay is going to be coming through here. It's going to be a big part of this for DnS. Having a gold base economy can definitely be very beneficial. Considering his third base is finished up, the third base the Terran players start, it's definitely nicely timed. Maybe not as early as a Protoss would usually like it, but obviously everything in general here has been slowed down just a little bit. Revelation will come down on the units over on this right hand side. We are going to be seeing a Guardian Shield getting popped, another couple of Adepts coming through as well. So +1 attack, Resonating Glaives, all of this getting set up and ready to go. Combat Shields is also going to be finishing in a moment or two with the +1 armor about to start up. So in general, it's the sort of time of the game where the Terran player wants to be aggressive, but can he be aggressive with the entire army under Revelation? This entire, everything is seen apart from these two medevacs. So actually, this army's still over here. May just be the kind of debate to keep units out of position to defend the gold base. And here you go, just going to start targeting a couple of pylons. But I mean, actually, for now, the Phoenix might be enough. Widowmine goes off. It's one of these Phoenix low. He will end up in the mineral line. 6 workers going down. No movement of the other army just yet. Now it starts moving forwards. He's going to get at least 9 workers, though, which is very, very nice. Pushing on in, we are going to be seeing the rest of the army hits the rest of the Protoss. And so DnS will still end up defending here, deflecting Cass away down to the right-hand side. Concussive Shells finishing up, another couple of gateways will be coming through, +1 armor and a blink continue to come on into play. So now we're getting the next stage of this from DnS. He did open with Glaives initially, which means that blink is a very common follow-up to play kind of like heavy gateway force, Adepts and Stalkers. Rather than kind of just going into charge Mortals and Archons, you play much more gateway heavy with this composition. So we'll see how this works. We'll see if the massive gate units are going to be enough here. The Phoenix to support are very powerful as well, though. They can lift up Widow Mines and kind of make the Adepts more powerful because they don't have to worry about the splash damage as they shade on in so much. So that's definitely one big thing for this, as also they can pick off the medevacs a bit more easily as well. The first couple of force fields are good. He actually targets down the Widow Mines for the most part. I think he actually got all of them before the fight. Phoenix actually just lifting up Marines, and that actually helps quite a lot with the damage output here. A lot of Marines actually just melt to those Phoenix. Wow. So those Marines just go down so quickly. Nice cleanup by DnS. So nicely done here as we're going to be seeing these couple of medevacs going to continue escaping away down to the bottom left side. Phoenix are going to chase those down, and we are going to be seeing them actually still going to end up being a kill. So very, very nicely done. Cleans out absolutely everything from Cass. Even though Cass has really been the one to apply a lot of pressure this game so far, really has been able to add up the damage in this. Well, DnS is still fighting the fights. Reminds me a lot of that DnS clan game we saw earlier today, which was really, again, similar stuff. Like, DnS takes a lot of harassment damage and so on, but in the end, he's able to kind of still pull through in the overall engagements. Engagement's just so powerful here from DnS time after time. Anyways, his 2-2 upgrades from Cass continue to come on through, so he will take a bit of an upgrade lead. A single forge from DnS is obviously not masses of upgrades, but he is going to throw down a Robo Bay. The second Robo Facility too. So now we start to see that kind of Colossus transition. He'll also, because he took the gold base, he's going to take the 4th base to the top side of the map. So taking the 4th base up to the top side here. I don't mind getting shot down. A few Marines stemming forwards, but these units are now going to have to dodge away. 2-2 upgrades continue to come on in right now for Cass, as we are going to be having a few extra medevacs just loading up, and they will begin to move across the map again in the next few moments. Perhaps we actually see these units going to dive in. You're going to be able to lift up a couple of these Marines. It's actually able to get quite a bit of damage done here. I mean, just slowing down the reinforcements, slowing things down for Cass. In general, the presence of these units will try and keep the kind of Terran army at home as well, which gives DnS more time to actually set up into Disruptors, not Colossus. Very interesting. Well, there's still this triple medevac he has to worry about, and as Cass sees the 4th base, he might just try and go for the 4th, more so than continue to dive in towards the main. Or, if he goes in towards the main, it could be a great opportunity for the rest of the army to come in towards the 4th base, because now it is starting to move up this top side. Stalkers are going to get one medevac right away, though, but the other two boost along quite nicely. They will get right into the back of this here, and there's also something killing off some workers somewhere. Sorry, there's Terran workers, of course, so a couple of Adepts going into town. 7 SCV is dropping, but there's attack in the main. Gonna get a lot done. And again, now he's getting into position on towards the 4th base too. The couple of Liberators are a little bit miscontrolled. They go a little bit too far forwards, much further forwards than they needed to. In the main base, the Marines and Marauders are still fighting away. The Phoenix begin to respond. Cass will kill the 4th base. There's no way you start pushing into this position now and you don't kill the 4th, I don't think. But he needs to be able to get out of here as well. And does he have the medevacs to do that? No. So he has to find a way to be able to walk out of here. Is that actually really a viable option? I'm not too sure. He looks as though he will be able to get out. The kind of the threat of the Liberators and the Widow Mines pins the Protoss army back for just a little while. I don't really agree with Cass trying to take a fight right now. Disruptor shot is good. Cleans up a good chunk of units there. It's a very powerful little play. As we are going to be seeing the Liberator will come up to the top side, will reposition to try and siege up another mineral line and get a little bit more done. +3 weapons from DnS as he continues on along, ignoring his attack, his armor upgrades now. Makes sense when he's very kind of stalker focused and much more reliant on attack upgrades rather than armor upgrades, which is a much more kind of adept or zealot focused composition upgrade, as we do see this Liberator being chased away by the Phoenix. Phoenix gets that kill. In the center of the map, the bio units are going to get a couple of adepts. Nice pickoffs there. +3 from Cass on the way through, +1 ship weapons as well. And now we're going to be seeing those few adepts of DnS continuing through the south side. Going to shade on forwards and, I mean, again, looking for damage, but Cass has reinforcements ready to go, so shouldn't really be a massive issue. And a few SCVs will start a job, so there's some damage. Cass is actually out of location to deal with this main Protoss army. I mean, this army's not even anywhere significant. It's not going to do much. I guess he can stim towards the natural. Either way, he looks as though he might lose this 4th base, because blinking forwards, the Disruptors will start to get rid of the SCVs. 20 workers just disappear, and Disruptors just get to work. And now, obviously, DnS can maybe even just recall to deal with this attack as it starts to move up into the natural. 38 workers have gone down because the depths in the main have just gone huge as well. 7 and 12 kills. But there's this army over here as Disruptor shots will come on in and Cass's army will just get pushed back. Stalkers blinking forwards. Way too much Protoss. And that's the power of the recall. Cass types out GG. DnS takes game 1 of this best of 3. And let's take this away. So to the top right-hand side, currently leading the series 1-0, the red Protoss player, who really has been, again, I've really been enjoying watching him play lately. It's been a lot of fun. This is a red Protoss player, DnS. To the bottom left-hand side, it's Cass, our Teal Terran player here. For game number 2 of this, let's see what he can bring to the party as we get him. I mean, this really was, though, in game number 1, really a great opening. He did some good damage, he got himself set up nicely. Just a couple of moments where, obviously, later in the game, he was out of position, he got really punished forward, especially in the game-ending move by DnS. Kills the 4th base, and Cass tries to do damage on the natural, but the recall is there. I guess when you recall to the force the recall to the natural, maybe you just stim away to the gold base. If you run towards the gold, knock down the rocks, and you can block the kind of army from DnS from chasing you for a while, then all of a sudden, you're actually in a pretty good spot. You can kill the gold, you can kill the 4th if it comes back over on the left-hand side. It's interesting. It is interesting. Well, we get set up here to see what's going to be happening. The City Dogs, and I'm surprised DnS was able to even stay in that game with all the damage he took early. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? Like I say, though, he took a lot of damage early, but it wasn't really game-ending damage. It was more... It gave Cass a bit of an edge damage, and in fairness, you know, DnS did do a good job defending, a couple of drops. He didn't, he did a good job with the Phoenix. He cleaned up the army a couple of times, and that definitely helped him to, get brought back into it, so... So we see in this probe is, moving out for DnS back home, has done the scouting information, even forcing the CEC to play slightly incorrectly here, so we'll have to lift up and drop back down. Probably just going to hide away in the corners. We see a command center is about to finish up. The reactor's done on the barracks, so the factory can jump onto it. So we're going to see a couple of Cyclones early in the game. Cyclones early in the game kind of allows you to kind of get this kind of aggression going quickly, moving across the map very early on, putting on some very kind of real pressure. As this orbital command will morph in initially, then he'll lift up and replace the CC into the correct location. As we are just going to be having the... single depth moving forwards, and it's just going to pop up the ramp. Doesn't see much, and just cancels its shade in. So a couple of Cyclones going to continue to come on up here. Going to be finishing in a moment or two. And as those Cyclones finish up, we're going to see another couple of Widow Mines on the way in the production tab as well. Stimpack still just on the main base, and again, just going to be seeing that's going to be a very fast bio-based follow-up as the 2 Cyclones coming in, already finding the Adept, but it's already shading backwards, so it should be just fine here. Proxy pylon from DnS as he adds 2 more gateways. How aggressive is he looking to really get here? I mean, 2 more gates, no other tech, just now a robo facility. It's a very interesting build. It's definitely very aggressive, right? I mean, we're looking at the potential of warping in, like, another 3 Stalkers, another 3 Adepts. This is a very powerful push forwards initially that could get something done. 2 Cyclones will turn and start a fight. Widow Mines will burrow, and that's actually going to make it a bit more awkward for the Cross player to do something. Really nice shade, though. Actually tanks the first Widow Mine shot and only gets hit by splash damage. The second Widow Mine does kill an Adept, but that should have been so much more. As we are going to be having the next 2 Widow Mines, though, going to get himself a Stalker and 2. So the next couple of Widow Mines are good, although they will pay for it with their lives. There's an interesting couple of moments here, as we do see another couple of Stalkers warping in. Doesn't quite intercept the Cyclones. Cass will see those extra Stalkers now and start to realize the scenario he's in. I don't think DnS has enough to push up here, especially with the Cyclones being repaired. I don't think it's quite going to work out. 2 more Stalkers have fallen. And we are going to see these Marines taking another shot or 2 as well, so Museums have to back away, and it looks as though for now DnS is going to be out of aggressive options at the very least. Now we do see a War Prison coming down from the Robo, and a Robo Bay is being built as well, so DnS is choosing to go in towards a little bit of an interesting kind of choice here, I'm going to go with Robo Bay, I'm going to build Colossi, or maybe Disruptors perhaps. I'm intrigued to see just maybe what the choice is here from DnS. I mean, you built Disruptors in that last game, is it the same again maybe? This game, the Robo Bay is a lot earlier, of course, so Colossi could definitely be something he builds up just from the start this time around to get that kind of going early and to work from that point onwards. It definitely makes a lot of sense as well. Third base just getting set up. This pylon's kind of funny. It's kind of like a PvZ pylon to kind of create the little blockade here. I don't think it's really needed to be right there in PvT because it just blocks a little bit of mining now, so... I see these adepts being warped in. Cass actually sees it as the warp prism shows up, so Cass sees all of that with those two medevacts. What a timing for them to fly overhead. Now he knows about that pylon as well, although right now, not actually responding to this. He isn't moving anything into position. Did he really not notice those adepts? Oh, Cass. It's a little bit of a real kind of lack of minimap awareness that's going to cost him a few SCVs. It's a very late response, not actually pulling these units in towards the main. And obviously now going to be seeing those adepts. They only get 3, maybe 4 workers if they target once more here at the end. And it's kind of a shame because a lot of those workers, 3 of them were within kind of 1 or 2 hit range. So that could have been a lot more damage. Cass getting off a little bit lightly there as you do see the first Colossus is out. There's 2 medevacts dropping towards the back of the third base. So quickly here, DnS in location to push that away. As his Twilight Council comes up, he's obviously starting to get to that stage of the game where you can have Blink, which will make this a lot easier in terms of dealing with all of this. Just going to be seeing the couple of pros continue to go down. 7 workers have been picked off here as Cass is going to continue diving in towards the main and try and do a little bit more. I mean, 7 pros, but it costs him the entire double drop, including one of the medevacts. It's probably just about worthwhile from the Terran player. It's never great to lose your army, but if he gets at least 1 medevac away, then 7 probes is 7 probes. It kind of resets the kind of work count, slows the Protoss down. Bio's very replaceable. It's the medevacs that are the least replaceable unit there, so I think it's okay for Cass. Maybe slightly DNS favored, but not end of the world sort of story for Cass, as we do see Blink on the way up now from DNS. We obviously talked about that already, and with Stalkers on the map, having Blink only kind of gives them even more utility and even more power to get more done. We're just going to be seeing a few extra gates on the way down. Blink on the way up. Again, Chrono boosting away here. +1 attack, +1 armor. Blink as well. We're seeing these couple of Marines and a Marauder or 2 from Cass coming in and pushing that Warp Prism away to the right-hand side. Just going to be seeing another, mule picked off. CV doesn't go down just yet, as we do see. Well, again, just these little bits and plays with the Warp Prism. So cute so far. Probes going down. Again, this drop back in play from Cass. It's obviously a new drop, but in the same sort of location. Gonna get a little bit of something done. Gets rid of 1 Stalker, we'll get rid of 2. Obviously, Blink not done yet. So, again, some nice little bits of damage. The medevacs end up backing away down the right-hand side of the map. And as they back away down the right-hand side, we just see DNS in this sort of location still where, he's still got the Warp Pistol on the map. His upgrades are coming up, and his position in this game is getting a lot stronger. And it kind of feels like Cass has just thrown units at a brick wall right now, and, it's like, he's chipping, maybe the top of the wall, maybe a couple of bricks are falling loose. He's definitely not breaking through DNS, and it doesn't seem as though he's making progress in the overall course of this game. He is going to have equal upgrades here in the next few moments. 1-1 against 1-1, so that's something, because a lot of the time Terran players do play with an upgrade deficit, so that's going to be interesting. Couple of SCVs going down, 3 SCVs going down. Viking comes in, we are going to be seeing this Adept getting cleaned out. Another Adept as well, probably going to be picked off here. Stalkers, Colossi, Zards, and a couple of Sentries going to move forwards. We're going to see 1 Widowmine going down. Stalkers blinking in. Going to get 2 free medevacs already. That's obviously very nicely done. Widowmine is still going to be good, but getting rid of free medevacs, that is, again, the part of the Terran army that really will struggle more than anything else to be replaced here, especially at the stage of the game where maybe you want to start rebuilding Vikings or Liberators. It's going to lift up again, and we are going to be seeing the Stalkers blinking in and getting another medevac kill. +2 attack, +2 armor. Coming into play right now is we're going to be seeing these extra gateways continue to come on down. A few more Vikings just on the way out at the moment here as well, so just continue to set up into that stage where he's maybe going to be able to fight against this Colossus-based composition, but well, you do see just the Prism down at the south side and the Stalkers, Colossi, Sentries all gathering together, and have a couple of Archons as well. This Bioforce from Cass just sitting underneath the Observer. Moving in towards the center of the map. He's going to be seeing these Stalkers. Still moving in and just going to be able to pick off a Widowmine there. Another Widowmine probably going to come down. Burrows into the center. Immortals, Colossi, Archons. The Skarmy composition of DnS is really, really nice. But there is a counter from Cass, right? You know, he does have Vikings up. A lot of this comes down to the fight. You know, how well can the Vikings position? Can the Stalkers shut them down quickly enough? I'm still just worried about using the last few medevacs. And you can see it now. He's rebuilding medevacs because Cass knows he probably needs a few more of these here. So let's end up with those. Let's see if he's going to be able to take a fight as we do see DnS though. Currently 2-2. He's an upgrade lead. He sees the army to the left-hand side with that Observer. He's going to push on down into the third base location through these rocks. So is he just going to try and cut off the army? Tops the Guardian Shield already. He knows it's somewhere over here. Here we go. The fight starts up. DnS. He just blinks to the side. He's already getting great damage done on the Vikings. The Archon splash is very noticeable here. 2 Colossi go down, but 2 will remain. And just having 2 Colossus left means that, I mean, you're just not going to kill them. And GG is going to be called. DnS is going to take the 2-0 in this best of 3.